So for a while I've had this idea of making a game. I have some urbanite. That's a rock. Urbanite is things recycled out of the urban environment. In this case it was some concrete that was laid on something that then we cracked up, and so it's mostly flat pieces, to replace it with something that would fill a cistern and keep it from leaking. I'm pretty sure that's the history on this particular form of urbanite. But now I've got all these flat pieces, which all have irregular shapes, except for being flat. And so I like the idea of placing those out and maybe even coloring them based on the type of geology that that particular one has, and making a 4X game. Exploration, expansion, stuff, 4X game. You can look it up. And I like that kind of game online. I like it as a computer game quite a bit. And so I think it would be fun to make a physical one with software that actually augments it and makes it so you can scan the board and you can record the score and see changes. And people take turns, and there can be multiple players, and they can be playing it for a long time. You know, maybe they only get to make a move a few times a day, or a few moves a day. Maybe we target it as being a 3-week game. Because if I want to have people here for a month-long program, they could play that game and they could finish one game in 1 month. And then we could also have other rocks which have different colors that add to that, like a mining thing for a resource. Or we could use go pieces, black and white go pieces. We need more colors than that because we have 4 players, right? So we need 4 colors or more. You know, who knows how many people would be on one. And they could make whatever alliances they want. There could be bridges between spaces. You could blow up a bridge. It could be semi-cooperative. It could be adversarial. Those are cool. But I like the idea of the physicality of that, augmented by an app that you can scan it and it just counts up all these pieces. And all the pieces in the set are known, right? It's known to the app. And you could make rocks with stripes on them. They have a certain color and they have stripes. And people could be watching this game online, and they could be advising people, and they could even be donating to a team. Maybe if the more they donate to a team, they can buy another piece of something. Who knows? I like that idea, and that could be done anywhere. I mean, I also have visions for bigger games in real space, you know, with many acres or hectares of space where you build virtual objects and people have to visit them to power them up and to maintain them. And you have groups fighting over this physical territory. You know, there's a game like that, I think it's called Ingress. But I don't know anybody who plays Ingress. Maybe I should have an Ingress gathering here. That might be fun. Maybe I should learn how to play that game. I have terrible phone signal here, so it's limited. But I could play these other games in a place where there was internet, or internet shouldn't even be necessary. Because that's one of the big bugs that exists in the world, is people design software for them. And they don't realize a lot of people don't have internet all the time. So it'd be better to build the app so it can be remote, offline, and then check in the moves. And people could be commenting on it. They could hook it up to videos on their moves that they made, and they could have those be private to their own group. You know, it'd be really fun, actually. Far better than chess. Chess is so limited, and Go is really cool, but it's only got 2 players, and it does have, you know, billions of permutations, and that's cool. But I'm thinking something more tied in with what we understand as places, like with mines and granaries, and more like Settlers of Catan in a way. But the board could change all the time. Every month there's a new board, and then people play on that and see how far they can get, and set it up so that, you know, you could build up a resource and make an incursion, and maybe even involve the online audience with that so that they're actually involved. This is a screwed up, weird idea. I think it sounds really fun. What do you think? You know, with that game, I could pick a particular kind of figure. Like, what comes to mind is something they used to sell called homies. They were little figurines, very small, the right size, the right scale. I'd have to pick a scale. I could even buy stuff from model railroading companies. And different ones could signify different things. I could make a colored base for them so that it tells which team they're on, because some of them will be mimicked on both teams. And they have an effect on that square. So just like you have these card games like Magic the Gathering, you could have little pieces, and each one could have its special powers. And you know, people could move around that board like they do the Risk board. It's an old board game that is fairly simplistic. All the pieces have the same power. These pieces could have special powers. And the app could even look for opportunities and stuff. And they could be resources that run out. Like a resource shows up on the board because you explore for it, and it only lasts so long. You have to use that resource to build something else. And we could even teach about ecology and stuff with that. Well, we'll see.